Okay, greetings everyone, and welcome to Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. I'm gonna thank my subscribers, my future subscribers, those. Let me check this dude out, cats. My commenters, you mean the world to me, and my scallywags, haters, and all those who find it necessary to want to piss on someone's parade. Welcome to you too, because I need you too in my life. But that's when I know I'm doing good, when I get people who can't find nothing nice to say, you know. So I need to hear that too. Why? I don't know. Maybe because just to keep proving to myself that I really don't give a damn. Okay, so what I'm going to start off with now, this seems to become a popular thing for me to do, and that's to read a few of my comments and comment them on in my video. Now, I haven't done this in a long time. I haven't shown my work. Let me see if I move a little closer. Okay, I haven't flashed my work on my screen in a long time. So hopefully, you might see somebody you know. So anyway, um, well, what's going on with me? You say? We hired a new housekeeper, and unfortunately, today we're gonna let her go. You know, uh, she watched more TV than a little bit, but then she's 18 years old. I think 17 years old. It might be 16. I don't know, but somewhere along the line, and I can understand it. I can understand you may come from a household where some luxuries you may not have, but you take delight in being able to utilize them here. So I'm not mad at her. It's just that I need someone to help me take the pressure of her and cleaning the house because this has been a major contention in our relationship. Not major, but she complained about cleaning the house, and I can't help you. I can't help you. You got to understand when you are the man, and you are. This is how I don't know if I've grown to think, or if I just believe that's the right way to think. If that if you bring home the bacon, let's say it like that, then you shouldn't have to do nothing. Even if my bacon only comes once a month in the mail, it's still my bacon. So I provide so much here. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot here. Or I prevent a lot of things from crashing down, or to make our life comfortable. You know, and that's my job. And that's what I'm committed to do. So excuse me if I don't grab a mop. So excuse me if I don't take out the trash. Excuse me, if I don't, bring in a 25 bag of rice or dog food, because you know what, I'm not lifting shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just the balance of things. So anyway, so having a housekeeper has always been, I don't know, you know. For some reason, in my mind, I think she should be whistling while she works because look where she's at. You know what I'm saying? From where she come from. So, she should be more than happy, to keep her home spotless. That's in her heart to do that. So anyway, and besides, a lot of you, I was looking to hear some comments about, my, my problems with the last housekeeper with the boys, but nobody commented on that. So, especially Filipinos. I thought Filipinos might say, "Yo, Gerard, it's our culture. This is what we do, what we do." And I said, "Oh, okay, it's your culture, but not in my household." You know what I'm saying? So one of those things. I've had a housekeeper who had a guy who wanted to come over here, and he did some work in the front, scraping the moss out of the concrete that are grown in the creek. It gets real slippery. So I had two other housekeepers, and one of them did it in like about 3 days, scraped it, and done. But this guy, he was going on like 5 days, and then like I decided, look, yo, Pa, if you don't get it done now, forget about it. Don't come back tomorrow because I'm not trying to change to take what a girl took 3 days to do and have you do it for about a week or something like this. Something just ain't right. I just, I told him don't come. So later, his wife, who was working for us, like I said, she came to me and said, Gerard, my husband wants to know if he can work around the house, do some more things. And I said, no. I said, no. No, this is the only swinging dick gonna be in this house. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be nobody else. Ain't gonna be no other, a guy coming in, something to work for me, and on a daily basis. No, I'm not having that. Now, if I contract you to do a job, yeah, you come in and you do your job, and Isaac Hayes and Keith Sweat, if you can't see. Those of you who uh, uh, I contracted to come in and do a job. I expect you to do a job and bounce. Like I have a friend of mine. His name is Michael. Michael and his girlfriend named Jean. Jean. They helped me out a lot. They really helped me start me out on my video. Did a lot of editing. If you look at my early videos, there's editing and all this fancy shit. And she did it. And I can say, but how do you do it? But how do you do it? So finally, I said, look, I'm gonna pay you to show me how to do it. And so she finally, although I was paying her along the line, she know why she was doing what she's doing. But anyway, she came and she showed me how to work in shop. Now, mind you, if I had tenacity, I could sit down and figure it out myself. But I don't. I'm not someone who can self-teach himself. I'm not a good self learner. I guess the best way to say it. I much rather have somebody show me. Like I tell people, whenever whenever I went for a job as a black and white lab printer, and the printer would and the owner would come, and of course the printing machinery changes quite frequently. You know, when you have a little small mom and pop printer, and then now you're in a newspaper organization, they got these huge printers, huge stack machines and PMTs. Where they do copies from, and they take me in the back, and they say to me, and I haven't seen this machine, at all. I didn't know it exists. So they tell me, can you work this machine? And I said, yes, I can work it once I learn the procedure. You understand? You never tell an employer that you can't do something. That's the last thing he wants to hear. But everything you do, everything that is done has a procedure. So you say, yeah, I can do it once I learn the procedure. Just a newspaper article on my brother who was 4 years old who was killed in a fire many years ago. Wow. Wow. So anyway, so and the employer go, huh? Wow, yeah, this guy's got it. This guy's got it. Because they don't want somebody coming in and working on $500,000 worth of machinery and don't know what the flock they're doing, and don't even understand that there is a procedure on how it needs to be done. So anyway, so I get hired, and so he says, look, show him how to work the machine. Now, a lot of times you might go through a job, and even in McDonald's, and they show you how to put the fries in the vat, how to dump it out in the rack and put salt on it like this. And say, okay, you do it. And then the next thing you know, you're putting salt on before you put it in the grease, and then do an asshole backwards. So what I would do is that I would walk, as he's showing me, I would have a pen and paper in my hand, and he says, first thing you do, you turn this button on. So I say, first thing, turn this button on. Second thing you do, you pull this lever. Second thing, pull the lever. Third thing you do, put the water in. You see, in other words, I write down the procedure. You follow what I'm saying? So then when the employer comes in, or when the next day he comes in, he says, can you work the machine? I say, yeah. He's okay, good. You see, he doesn't have to spend a lot of time taking that man off his normal job who's showing me to have to re-show me again after he showed me yesterday and I can't remember. But the fact that I can jump in there and put in the procedure, Because you see, once I got it to the procedure or where the machine is ready to operate, then comes my technical skills or my black and white lab technician, my being able to scale things and proportion things and copy things. You see, because they all have that same that same outcome or that same product that they're trying to put out, or what have you, for the newspaper. Or I used to strip the names on they used to have a time when they used to have photographs in the marquees, when you would go and you would go to a movie and you would see 8 by 10s of the movie, and you kind of get an idea of what the action was alike. Well, I was the one who stripped those names underneath the photos, or one of those type of things. But anyway, so if you ever, I'm talking to all you new people out there, if you're going to a job and someone asks you, do you know how to do something? Don't ever say no. Say, sure. Once I learned the procedure. Very important thing that's. Now, getting back to Michael and Gene. Now, Michael was in a bike accident. Dan Aykroyd. He was in a bike accident and he ended up in the hospital and busted up his knee, I guess. And so, you know, um, he's a good worker. He is someone who I don't have to worry about. He would do the job and go far and beyond to get a. See, Filipinos are like that. You get some Filipinos, who when they do a job, I mean, they do an extraordinary job. I mean, one beyond your wildest idea. I have been trimming trees, and when I look at the tree, it looked like a twig. I said, God damn, he trimmed the shit out of that tree. You know, coconut. Well, I'm gonna get all those damn coconuts. Because they do things very thorough when they want to. So Michael was one of those who worked, very well. So I kind of, because he was getting a hospital, I stopped by and saw him in the hospital, and I slipped him 1,000 pesos, to help him with whatever it is he's going through, like that, because he's my boy. So anyway, so he's out of the hospital now. I saw him at Why Not the other night when we were there, so I bought him and this girl a drink, which they never got. It's okay, So anyway, so I paid for it, but they never got. So anyway, so what happened was that I decided, I need some have some cleanup done around the house. So who did I think about? I thought about Michael. Why? Because if I'm gonna have somebody do it, I'm gonna have somebody do it who if I tell Michael clean this. When he's done, he will clean that, and he going to God. I didn't think, one of those type of things. He's one of those extraordinary workers. So I called him and asked him if he can, come do some cleanup for me. And he said no. He says he can't bend his knee, and that's probably because of the um, that's probably because of the type of care he received in the hospital. You know, I'm sure if he had money, they probably would have done a lot better on his knee to make sure his knee was more in 100% range of functioning than it is now. So I chalk it up as not being able to actually pay for the type of treatment that you really need to get you back 100. So anyway, so I wanted to hire him to put money in his pocket. You understand what I'm saying? Because not only that, but I know he would do a good job. So he got in a bike accident because he was drinking, and had a bike accident. That's one of the main reasons why a lot of cats get killed and have accidents is because they drink. You don't know how many foreigners that so and so died in a car accident, or he didn't see. Now, when you're driving on the road in the Philippines, you know, number one, there are no stoplights. A lot of times, there's no street lights. There's no stop signs. And if they're doing construction, you might see a little bar thing in the road, kind of blocking a hole. And if you're not familiar with the road, you may not see it until it's too late. So this one foreigner, he was driving and driving drunk, and he missed it and went right off the road into the water. And it's a small creek, and from what I understand, if someone was there to help him, uh, um, uh, keep him from drowning, he probably would have survived. But because nobody was around, he drowned and what have you. And then of course his family wanted to sue. Like, just good luck with that, suing in the Philippines, because that's something that I don't hear of, or uh, something that's on people's mind about suing. Who's that? Ashford and Simpson and Tanya Bailey from Kiss FM. Um, you don't hear about people suing. It just doesn't happen that much here, or I haven't heard it. It's like when Sunshine showed us in that bus accident. He pointed out that when that bus driver fell asleep and it ran into a truck, and so when he got off the bus, all they did was gave them their money back. And the money may be like 30 pesos, 60 pesos, or something like that, depending upon how far you were going. Not very much. Very seldom any bus ride would be more than 100 pesos or whatever. But anyway, that's what you got. You say thank you, Jesus, that you didn't get killed, and here's your money, and that's it. So nobody asks for insurance. No one says they're going to sue. All they do is that they go about their way and be grateful that they're able to walk away from an accident. So no one here suing. But like I said, drinking is a major cause of accidents here in the Philippines, and dogs. You have to watch the dogs, because dogs are they jet across the street almost at any time, and that time when they're in the heat, there are a lot more in the streets. And then of course when it's cold at nighttime, the road is the nice warmer place to lay on. Same thing like snakes. That's why we run over snakes. Of course, snakes will go to the highway because it has absorbed all the heat during the day, so it becomes a nice safe place, a nice warm place to relax and whatever. So dogs are also a major cause of accident. One thing I learned about, it used to be deers and all that stuff, but I learned that if it, not that you're going to have a deer jump out here in the Philippines, you know, but if you're driving on the road, for those of you who have deers, if one runs into the road, you never steer toward the head. Always steer toward the rear of the animal, because the animal cannot run backwards. It only can run forward. So if it's running forward and you steer toward the head, you're actually, creating more more damage, or more of an accident, because you're following a deer. Hit the ass is what I want to say. So anyway, I wanted to have Michael do it, and Michael had told me that since he can't do it, he had an uncle who could do it for me, who could work for me, do cleanup. So I told Michael, no, 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 no. I don't want nobody else. I want you. I said, I'm not trying to put money in no one else's pocket but yours. I said, if I need somebody else, then okay, fine. If I need, then I'll let you know. But no, I don't want you to give me, somebody who I don't know how they're gonna work, or worried about how they're gonna work. So anyway, one of those things. So that's where I am right now. So okay, so I learned how to do in shot. Yeah, I learned the procedure of how to edit, how to crop the footage and all this stuff. So, that's why I say it pays to have a young person around, because a young person knows all of that stuff. You'd be surprised how much they know. Okay. All right. So I was going to read a comment, but I don't know how much time I got left. I didn't put my timer on, but it's running. But, let me see if I can find a comment or two to read for you. Uh, Let me see. Okay. Okay. Ooh, ooh. There was someone who sent me an interesting comment. I could look at it on a computer, but I don't want to break the of Hillary Clinton, Al Sharpton, David Jenkins, and Russell Simmons. I want y'all to see my work. It's interesting because I'm a photographer, and someone had asked me, about Mia and I, her being jealous or something like that, you know. And I had to tell this person that, look, I've dealt with this issue my entire life, as a photographer. I've had women come in my life, and who I'm photographing other women, other beautiful women like this. I had Cheryl. Cheryl was sabotaged, but that's another story. I did a lot for that girl. She's I think now she's a pharmacist, which is a beautiful thing. But anyway, so um, it's like you know I condition uh, them to be able to accept who I am. I do that by not being phony. I do that by not trying to do something behind their back or whatever. What I do right in front of them. You know what I'm saying? If I hug someone, if I kiss someone, I do it right in front of them. You know what I'm saying? And uh, see, like something's in my ear, which may not surprise me. There are bugs every damn where. Which may not surprise me, but so this guy says, you got to show more respect because how would you like it if a boyfriend, ex-boyfriend come around or something like this? I said, wait, hold on a second. So they said to me, how would I like it? I said, look, I said, see, that's the difference between me and you. I am fine with it, or they come to a family gathering. I'm okay with it. I understand that people have had other relationships. I understand this. I accept this. I'm going to accept that I'm not your only one. You know what I'm saying? So if I run into, I ask them, if you're in a restaurant and you're eating with your wife and your ex and her ex comes in, what are you going to do? Get up and leave? You know? Or your ex come in, what are you going to do? Get up and leave? I said, see, that's the difference between me and you. I would send him a drink. I would send him a drink. Yo, cheers. You're like this because to let him know I acknowledge him. He acknowledged me. Everything's cool, man. It doesn't have to be the drama that you make it out to be because there's no drama. There's no drama. I'm chatting with girls, who we genuinely I'm not talking about the relationship or anything like that. Like one of them showing me how to get the most out of Facebook. And I said, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? See, you know, I'm not gonna lose anybody in my life. I lost enough people in my life. That those that I have in my life, those who want to be around me, people I love that. I love the fact that people want to be with me. People not be with me, but be around me. I want people to also come and enjoy my home. I want to come and sit down and eat my food. I want to come and meet my wife. This is the one I chose. I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy for her. I love this girl. You know what I'm saying? I want them to 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 let them know that you may not be here, but you're not forgotten. Come. So anyway, it's I guess it's also my not being a jealous type. I'm just not. I'm just not because I have myself in my profession. What I chose. Is easy. But I also told them, out of all the girls I had that might have been jealous of my photograph of other girls or something like this, whatever, they never once said, Gerard, I want you to stop taking pictures because I want to be the only girl in your life. No. Instead, what they said was, okay, let me be a part of it. Let me help you. I like the environment. I like what's happening. I like what you're doing. I want to be a part of it. And then they become addicted to that, to the atmosphere, to what I'm doing and becoming a part of me, see. And you can't pick and choose of who as if you're served the plate, either you send the plate back or either you accept the plate. And if you accept the plate, you don't eat all the food and then say, look, I don't like this, I want my money back. You can't do that. Same thing like relationships. Once you choose, you chose. You know what I'm saying? You didn't say take vows, from death, from riches and poor, from sickness and health. and until I change the way you are and make you mine. You know what I'm saying? We, we don't make those kind of vows. Okay. So with that being said, Francesco Scabulo, he was the cover of a Cosmopolitan magazine. He was my idol. This guy taught me a lot. I was his like number three assistant, and so whenever you look at Cosmo, he's the one who discovered Brooke Shields. So anyway, enough being said, about that. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. He had his picture hanging in the studio. I was so proud. Dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action, BB King. And remember, never disrespect the elder, always pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one to see a vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. I hope you are too. If you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ali Woodson, former lead singer of Temptation, once sung, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, never say no and treat him like a king. I remember why I started about talking pictures because I was talking about how much, I enjoy it that when I post my pictures, no one ever says to me, "Yo, Gerard, that was a nice picture. Yo, Gerard, wow, you're really good." Because it's I don't know. I wish they would sometimes. And if you say I don't like this picture, I'm gonna say, "What the flock do you know?" I will always love you more. May you live to be 100 and me 100 a day, so I'll never know that nice people like you have gone away. Oh my God. I love you like a love song, baby. I truly, truly do. And thank you for all those who said that they enjoy my channel because one guy told me, Gerard, you remind me of my brother. He said, he says, you talk like him, you love it like this. He said, in fact, he said, if I meet you, you and I will probably be good friends. And one guy commented about my being Marcelo, I can't remember from Pulp Fiction. He said, I remind him. I'm flattered by all the compliments that people give me, and I really appreciate them from the bottom of my heart, and know that God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. I'll talk to you later. Peace.